Hello, travel family. I'm super excited to be here again. This year I said I will be very consistent, very intentional, bringing you travel information that would be very useful, beautiful tips that would help you make good decisions this year and break ground when it comes to your travel history. What you've always wanted to do in the past. I want this channel to help you achieve them and beyond, even tell you things that you're not even aware of and help you avoid mistakes people have made in the past, that has kind of dented your travel image. So if you are new to this channel, I would say welcome. And my name is Cynthia Anuku, and I am super excited to take you on this travel journey. And if you are part of our family, I would say thank you for watching again. So please do well, if you're just seeing us for the first time, subscribe, like, and share, as this station is here to achieve everything I've just listed. So welcome once again. Okay, so today's video is here to teach you things that maybe at the first time, or even if you're a frequent traveler, some people still make these mistakes. And today's video is here to tell you what you need to know every time you pick your bag and you want to go into another man's country. Okay, so what am I saying? Today's video is here to tell you how and things to say at the immigration, what is expected of you. Now, this is not here to help you beat the system. This video is here to help you stay informed and be on the right path. Okay, so the first rule when you come before an immigration officer is to what? Be confident and calm. Yes, sometimes showing anxiety could signal something else. Maybe he's here to do something else. Maybe what he's saying is not true. So your first rule is be confident and calm. As long as you're coming for the right purpose, just be confident and calm. The immigration officer is not your enemy. The immigration officer is here to find out certain informations. Informations like, why are you here? How long do you intend to stay? What, again, I've said, what is the purpose of visit? Where would you stay? How would your trip be funded? How do you intend to stay during your stay? Would you be visiting anybody? Things like that. They would like to know everything you plan to stay. As long as you're a visitor, you're not resident, you're not a citizen. Their job is to ensure that they are admitting the right people within their zone. So the first thing first, you have to be confident and you have to stay calm during this questioning period. This would help you be articulate and also be attentive. You would hear the questions and you would answer right. So stay calm and be as confident as you can. So diving in further, when asked things like, what is your purpose of visit? Why are you here? Now, if you're here as a tourist, you tell them things like, I'll be here for a tourist visit. I intend to visit tourist areas. I intend to see, I've researched on this and I intend to see the beautiful things your country has to offer in terms of tourism. You might want to be specific at this point to show that you actually came well informed. Again, in as much as you're trying to show that you're well informed, I would also say do not make it a lengthy discussion. Keep it simple, as a lot of people will be on the queue are waiting to go into the country. So you don't want to have it turn into a long conversation session. So if you're here for tourism, the first thing you say, I am here for a tourist visit. If you're here for study, I am here for studies. If you're here, if you're on a long transit and you just intend to go into the country and then out, I'm on a long transit and I need to just lodge into a hotel during this period and then I'll be out. Just be very specific and keep it short, simple. For what? For comprehension. So still in line with why are you here, there's certain things you don't tell an immigration officer because it doesn't say anything. Things like, I am here to see what's just here. I don't really know. My cousin said I should come. My auntie said I should just come. That's a bit, that's not clear. As long as you're not a minor, Again, it might not would not be asked questions like this, but as long as you're an adult, it's a bit worrisome when you answer things like that. So you need to be very informed of the reason why you're coming. A lot of people have been sent back because of unclear reasons why they came to visit. So another question to expect during your stay is a question of where would you be staying. So as a non-resident or a non-citizen of a country, it is expected that you know where you would stay, even if you're there for study purpose, even if you're there for transit, even if you're there for a short tourist visit. As long as you are not resident or a citizen of that country, you'll be asked things like, where do you intend to stay? So be expecting questions like this. And please, it is important that you're well informed what you are coming for. It is very important you're well informed where you will be staying. You can't come on a short visit or as a visitor and not have an intention to stay, or not have an idea, where you intend to stay. It makes it a bit suspicious what you actually came for. So you should be saying things like, oh, I'll be staying at the Hilton Top Hotel, wherever it is. Or I'll be staying at my cousin's who stays at Again, you should be prepared for this question, which is one of the most expected questions that an immigration officer would ask you. So it is best you know what to say in line with this question. Know your address. Know if you're going to see somebody. Have the phone number of the person in case a verification needs to be made. And in case you'll be staying in a hotel, you can also back it up with a hotel reservation. So one of the most likely questions to also expect is how long you will be staying. Please don't expect not to expect this question because it's very common, and every normal immigration officer would ask this question. How long do you intend to stay? So for instance, if I'm a student, you should be telling them the duration of your studies, backing up with documentations as well if asked. So you have to get that handy as well for this particular purpose. If you're on tourism, you have to show that. This time around, backing up with your return flight ticket, because you could be asked, oh, you really was going to stay 7 days. Can I see your flight ticket to back this up? You need to also be informed. You can't be saying I'm staying 7 days and your travel ticket is saying 2 weeks. That's a big contradiction, don't you think so? Okay, so this is a question you should be ready to answer. And if you know your stay does not permit that long, please avoid having a ticket that shows that, or avoid an intention of staying that long, if you understand what I mean. So that is very, very key. Always know how long you intend to stay, backed up with your document to prove that, because most likely you will be asked this. So immigration officers also would like to know how you intend to fund your stay. Yes, they will always like to know how much do you have in your possession for this supposed 7 days trip, 2 weeks trip, 10 days stay. How do you intend to fund your stay? Now, if you will be sponsored, you should have supporting documents for that. And usually I always advise, at the point of entry, at this point, you should be having the funds, within. It's not they will, this is a letter of sponsorship. No, you should be having the fund because you're already coming in. The trip has started. It's not a visa application anymore. It's the trip has started. So they would like to know, for a 7 day stay, how much do you have? You said you're going to stay in this class of hotel. You're going to be doing this activity. How much do you have to back it up? Everything you say, or your purpose of visit and the things you intend to do, must also tally with the amount of money you have. So for instance, you can't be claiming a 10-day stay, no hotel booked. How else will I put? No hotel booked. Transfer is also involved, your transportation and everything, and you'll be coming with $50. That does not make sense. So you have to make it make sense. Your finance has to be backed up with evidence. At this point, I would always say monetary evidence, because the trip has started. So I always tell people that certain things should not be checked in. Now, the document you should have handy before you approach an immigration officer, because this is most likely going to determine if you'll be going in or you'll be sent back. Yes, I said so. Okay, now documents that you should always have handy before you approach an immigration officer is: one, your international passport. That is your ID. It says who you are. They don't know you. They don't know where you're coming from. So your international passport will reveal a lot to them. Who are you? Have you applied rightly? Your international passport will say a lot. So please have that handy. Another thing you should also have handy is your visa. So in a case whereby the trip requires a visa, you have to show your visa, that is valid for that trip. Now, return ticket. As long as you're a visitor, okay, you have to have your return ticket handy. In case you were asked, can I see evidence that you believe it's a stop period? Yes, your return ticket has to be with you for presentation. You should also have your reservations in case you'll be staying in a hotel, and in a case whereby you'll be staying with somebody, have the address and the contact in case they need to contact them for verification. So these are the very important documents. Why other people will be asking things like, some countries will require additional things like yellow fever card, travel insurance. They might see it as something that you have to have before you go into their country. So you have to make your research and know the documents that are important in case the immigration officer asks you for that. I'm saying in addition to what I have listed, things like your visa, if visa is required, things like your international passport, things like your return flight ticket. These are non-negotiables. Where you would stay, please, these are very important 4 documents you must have handy, and in addition to it, any other one that the country requires. So now let me tell you, certain things will be a red flag when you come in front of an immigration officer. Giving different answers at different times, yes, that would be a red flag. So for instance, if asked, how long would you be staying, and then you say 7 days, and later on that question is rephrased again and you say 10 days, it doesn't tally. When your return flight ticket does not tally with your date, that is a red flag on its own. Not being sure of where you would stay, these are red flags already, because it simply means that you have another agenda, because nobody comes to stay in the open without an intention. Okay, so it simply shows that you have another agenda. Saying that you're coming to look for work when you're not on the work visa, that is a red flag. So these are things that most likely will send you back when you get to an immigration point. These are things that most likely would send you back to your home country. I'll use the word deport you back to your home country if you're not clear about them. In as much as I'm laughing, these are very important issues and you take seriously before you approach an immigration officer. Now let me give you bonus tips. Stand straight. Maintain eye contact when asked. Be confident. Don't swindle answers. Don't play extra smart. And don't give over information when not asked. Just keep it simple and short. Backed up with documents. These are very important when it comes to an immigration officer's questioning or interview session. They are very important. Keep it simple, keep it smart, keep it precise, and back them up with documents. This is my closing tip for you. It is important to note that immigration officers are not there to intimidate you or make you feel sad, right? They are there to protect their country, that they are admitting the right persons into their country, and at the same time also protecting you too, to make sure that you're well informed where you're coming to and what you are going to do. Because we've seen cases where people are even trafficked and they don't even know. We've seen cases where people are coming for other reasons and they don't even know. So certain things are indicators. So you yourself do your research and do the right thing when going to another man's country. And please, I beg you, do not outstay your expected period of stay. This is not just bad for you, it's also bad for some other person who is coming along. It is very important. And on that note, I would see you next time. This time around, I said I'll be consistent, so definitely I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Until next time.